Hello, everyone. I'm Dees Hinton, owner of Central Mississippi Real Producers. And we're here today to do episode number 3, podcast number 3 of our Central Mississippi Real Producer podcast. And what Central Mississippi Real Producers is all about is connecting, communicating, building relationships among the top producing real estate agents in the Central Mississippi area and connecting them with top industry professionals in the Central Mississippi area. I want to give a shout out to Kaylin Partee. We're in the Partee Studios doing this video, and thanks to Kaylin Partee Photography for handling this for us. I have with me today Ginger Wallace, who is our Creative Marketing Director for Central Mississippi Real Producers, and J.R. Crowell, who is the owner and Chief Bottle Washer for the Steady Home Maintenance. And we are looking forward to what he has to offer today. It's a really exciting business that I know all the real estate community is going to want to hear about.
All right, so you are the, like Dee said, owner of Steady Home Maintenance.
Yep, one of them. I got a partner.
And you have a partner. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell us, what is Steady Home Maintenance?
Steady Home Maintenance is, I'm gonna give you the elevator pitch, and I'll give you the from the heart pitch maybe after that. But Steady Home Maintenance is designed to be your personal handyman, and what that means is we focus strictly on small repairs around the home, residential only. And by small repairs, I mean things like a leaky faucet, or maybe a little bit of drywall that needs to be repaired, or changing out a light fixture, and we don't get on the roof. And I've just added that to the elevator pitch because we don't get on the roof, and people need to know that we're not getting above the roof line. I don't like heights. Nobody else likes heights. There's folks that are good at that, so we'd rather bring them in.
That's right.
We have some good roofing.
That's right. There's a magazine with some roofing partners in there. We'll let them handle it. So yeah, if it's above the first story, we don't touch it. But small, but no landscaping is involved in that. It's all just home maintenance style tasks.
Sounds like a punch list.
Yeah, just like a punch list, which is where a lot of it plays into for the realtors especially. So we started Steady, if you want me to run down that road, kind of how it got going and why we do it. This kind of gets into the why and from the heart. So I'm a real estate investor by trade, and so I've had a special place for realtors in my life for a while. They've been the responsibility of a lot of my income because they found deals or sold deals for us. And so I know, as just a consumer of the real estate closing process, having a punch list and an inspection that has a hard time getting done can be an issue getting the deal to the closing table. And so as an investor, we're like everybody else. We had trouble finding somebody to do the little stuff. Like, we can get the roofing done, we can get the flooring done, the painting's no problem, but it's that double lug neutral inside of the panel. It's that the outlet, the GFI that's not working on one circuit, or a little bit of rotten fascia, just not enough for anybody to come out. Nobody wants the $300 job. So this idea was kicking around for a while, and as we saw the real estate market changing a little bit, we got out of some markets we were in, and kind of my workload lightened up some. I thought, well, if we were ever going to try it, I think we can solve an issue. And so what I'm getting to is the why and the heart behind Steady is there was a problem that we saw in our circle and as well as personally that I felt like we could tackle. We had a good team internally that we've been doing it already for our properties. Why not brand it and give it to the masses, And so we started it with the punch list in mind. and I'll talk about Steady in 2 lanes. We've kind of got what I call the realtor and investor side, and we've got what I call the retail market, and the retail just being the average homeowner. And on that side of the house, we offer a subscription model, which is way different. It's disruptive for sure, where you can subscribe to a certain amount of hours per month or every other month, and we come out and you give us a to-do list 7 days before, and we show up and knock it out, and you come home from work and the punch list is done.
Yeah. And there's always something coming up that's broken, needs to be fixed. Y'all know how it is. You got kids, you got animals, and something's always broken. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So you offer a subscription where I just know who to call, and I say, hey, this is my list for this month. Is that how that works?
Right. Yeah. And the neat part is what's the other thing besides you can't find somebody to do the little stuff. If you can find them, and not that there's not folks out there, there's a lot of really good people in our area, just not branded, and they're just maybe one guy and just can't get to everything. Sure. But if you do get them, they're a month out, 2 months out, 3 months out, whatever it may be. And we have some guaranteed turnaround time. So for the subscriber, what's neat about that is you're pre-scheduled for the year. So you're already on the calendar every other month or whatever you pick. forever. Like for that 12-month span,
like
you're
a
there.
certain day in the month when
That's
y'all
right.
come regularly.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
And then
You
7 days
you do
before,
flower beds.
no landscaping days.
No landscaping.
No landscaping. Surely we got somebody in there we can.
landscaping.
Yeah, no roofs, no
We
landscaping.
definitely
Sorry.
have some good landscapers also,
yeah.
don't we?
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
no, I hire that out on my own home, so no, I don't do that. And then we have a portal for clients that you can log into, or you can email just the list 7 days before. Now we're pretty tech heavy in our company, and so you don't forget to send the list because we remind you pretty regular. And part of getting that is one, to make sure you're getting your time slot filled up. But before all of that happens, I come out or someone comes out and we do a full maintenance walkthrough. That's part of being a subscriber. You get us to come out and look at everything from the perspective of a contractor that works on houses regularly to say, okay, this is something that tears up quite often, or this door gets used a lot. We should probably watch these hinges and make sure they stay tight, those kind of things. Well, by the time we do that walkthrough, you get a fully color, not like a home inspection, it's different, but same idea, photos with our comments of what to look for. Well, then that's how you build your list for the rest of the year, right? You've at least got that filled up, and then you add to it as you go. So that's the retail, the homeowner side. And you don't have to be a subscriber to use this, by the way. That's just an option that's there. On the real estate side for realtors, this is, again, where kind of the passion lies. We focus heavy on the punch list. We love the punch list. The smaller, the better. We want the small stuff. Please bring them to us. That's kind of what we like. And I don't think I've seen it. We're really good at them as far as efficiency is concerned. And you don't have to have us come out and walk it to give the price. As you just email me a copy of the inspection, we can look at it, give you a ballpark for your client. We come out and take care of it within 48 hours, and then you're on to the closing table.
Within 48 hours.
Within 48 hours. Yep, that's a guarantee.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's a guarantee.
That's a guarantee.
Yeah, how
Don't
about
hear that
that?
often.
No.
That's a guarantee. And somebody told me early on that I should be cautious putting that in our marketing, that we may eat those words. And I was like, well, that'd be a good problem to have. We'll cross that when we get there. But for now, we're able to maintain it. And kind of the ace in the hole is we have a really good team, but I've also got tools in the back of my truck. So if push comes to shove, I'm out there doing it too.
I know that I've seen some marketing that y'all have done where you're pretty hands-on. So that's kind of neat. You actually can fix stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, and I'm licensed, so I mean we're licensed. Yep. And so I grew up around that a lot. And again, being a house flipper, starting off, you don't have a lot of money, and so you've kind of got to figure out how to do some of that on your own, you know. But then I think it behooves you to know. You need to know enough about it before you can hire it out anyway, so that you know what you're looking at, right? Especially if we're going to run a company. But we've been fortunate to have some great folks that are on the team now and coming. So, but yeah, that's the ace in the hole is if we get, I can guarantee 48, because if nothing else, I'll go do it. We'll go handle it. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And then that's fine. That's fine. And I think too, what's worth noting, and this is kind of a benefit for the subscription, and we can talk to how some of the subscriptions can intertwine with a real estate closing. And we've had some of these kind of overlap here recently. And in lieu of doing a punch list, maybe the seller buys a subscription for the buyer and says, hey, if you don't care, if it's a cosmetic thing that you want to do, why don't we just pay in advance and you can just decide what you want to do and just get them to come out and take care of it. But in addition to when you're a subscriber, you also get access to our subs that we use on a regular basis. Because again, House Flipper Investor, we've got
connection.
Yeah, that work with us regularly. And so we typically bring them in a lot on jobs. And so just because if you needed a full, I'm not going to say kitchen because I would refer you to somebody else, but if there's something we don't do, like a full fence or a full deck or whatever, and there's not a real producer's contact that you should be calling, then maybe we look through our bank and go, oh, well, here's the next person you could call because we use them regularly. And so I think there's that trust factor. People want somebody they can trust.
Absolutely.
And they're a lot more likely to show up when they have somebody they're connected to,
Bingo.
calling them and saying, hey,
Yep, you nailed it.
Take care of this person.
You nailed it. Yep, you nailed it. That's exactly right.
Awesome. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about, I don't know, just what's the craziest thing you've ever seen? I mean, you've probably seen some crazy stuff with some repairs. I mean, you ever just seen some holes in the wall or?
I mean, things you find inside the wall can get interesting. And that's not even a contractor story. That's a college story. And I won't tell the whole thing, but
Did you put it in the wall?
no. Well, no, but a wall got broken. Let's just say drywall was broken. And when the drywall, we decided to investigate once that happened and just started pulling the rest of it down. We got our deposit back. We fixed it. But inside of that wall, because during construction, maybe everybody doesn't clean up. Maybe cleaning up was setting something inside the door jamb there and you forgot and put drywall back over it. So like some of it's neat stuff though, like old Coke bottles from forever ago.
Yeah, those are valuable.
We found some hair
Okay.
Somebody got a haircut on site, maybe, and it wasn't just like, oh, it went through the vent and went down the wall. No, it was so that's crazy or interesting, whatever you want to say. I don't know.
I figured you might, see some.
But again, that wasn't even part of the work. That was 15 years ago.
I love it. We'll see, and somebody's got to come in and repair that drywall.
That's right. Yeah, but you see a lot. I mean, and I'm not picking on the DIY because I am that guy too. But sometimes you're in the thick of it. And it's a Sunday afternoon. You got to fix. You just got to do it. You got to get through to Monday. Right. And so we see some pretty interesting repairs. Yeah. But you also go, man, that was pretty intuitive. Like that was good thinking. Yeah. You have to file that one away in case. Yeah. That's right.
And then they bring in the professionals to.
Yeah, that's right. To fix it. Sadly, usually it costs double by that time. That's the difference of hiring the cheap guy versus.
And call the professional.
Yeah. What's to say you can have it 3 ways: fast, cheap, or good? Pick 2.
Yep.
That's right.
I
love it.
Get that contract.
How did you first kind of get connected with us? Tell us that story.
You called me? No.
That is a good question because
I remember.
Normally the way the process works is I meet with a top realtor and get referrals from the top realtors as to who I should talk to see if it's a good fit. But that didn't happen in this case.
Can I drop names? Like, can we say who it was, I guess, if they were in your magazine?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Josh Williamson with Hopper Properties. He was one of your rising stars, I think, several months ago. But my wife and I used to lead the college Sunday school life group, whatever we call it these days. We called it Sunday school growing up, but life group at our church. And so I knew him really well as he was graduating and getting his license. And when we started this, I was wanting to get more into realtors. I was like, hey, I'm doing these breakfasts with them, and I'm taking them food. I'm talking to the brokerages, but I need to get more access to agents because I think we've got a good product. And he said, real producers, that's what you got to call. You need to holler at them. But I think somebody, maybe Shannon Warren, had already told you about me or something, like in passing, because she called me one day and said she wanted to use my name. Somebody had asked her for references for a magazine she was in. It had to be yours because she's in it.
Yes.
And so I think maybe she had.
Josh.
Yeah. And I think he uses y'all's photo for his billboard too. He's got a billboard out there by his neighborhood. Yeah.
Hopefully Abe knows about that.
And that's such a neat service. There's a plug for y'all, though. I mean, if y'all do some serious photography for these things, and if I'm not mistaken, the people then get to use the photographs
let me
purchase
them. Speak to that. First of all, Abe Draper is our photographer for our features, and
he does an amazing job.
He does, and he has photographed every feature we've done. We're working on publication number 50 right now, and Abe has done all of them, and he does a great job. Abe's an independent contractor.
Hey, look at this. Abe is on the same page as you.
Oh,
yeah,
like it was meant to be.
That's his ad right there.
Steady home maintenance.
But yes, just giving a plug for Abe. He does a great job. He's an independent contractor, and it's really up to the people that we feature if they want to purchase the photography.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
That we do. Sometimes he watermarks it when he's working with them, and like I said, it's just some buy it. We also have some promotional material that we develop for marketing that I showed.
So what you showed at the last meeting? Yeah, those are really cool.
Yeah, and
I could see for an agent that'd be great because they give out a lot of packets, right? In the office, that's a big deal.
We do all that, but Abe does photography for all that. But it's between our features, the people that we feature, and Abe as to whether or not they want to purchase photography. Abe, when we do a feature, and we'll do a feature on you sometime, Abe does about 40 or 50 photos that he sends to our people to choose the 4 or 5 or 6 or so that they want us to use, and so he has a lot of options there for each one of our features on photography.
That's great. Yeah. So that's how Real Producers, Josh Williamson. Shout out, Josh. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh.
Well, awesome. Okay. So far, I know you've been to our Reveal events, a couple of those.
Yep.
So tell me what your involvement's been like. Have you made it to one of our big quarterly events?
Yeah. The most recent one, I think that was we joined in between big events, and we came to the one that was at the most recent one. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've had a great time. The monthlies are wonderful. It's a as you've designed it to be. It's a also use the word intimate setting with some specific partners and then the features, and that's been a great way. We've actually, from our first one, we did a job that Friday from one of the features that was there. Because again, we're focusing on those small things. The realtor always needs something small, and this particular one was a caulking around a door and then maybe putting on a handle to a faucet. I think it was super simple, but it had to be done before closing that day. And so she just shot me a text. And I was like, yeah, we're on it. And so right over we went. And that came from just sitting down and getting a good meal nonetheless, and
that's
good conversation.
What we do works so well because somebody may see your name somewhere or be recommended to you when they get to sit at a table with you.
Yep.
Have a conversation, see you face to face, meet you.
That's right.
They're a lot more likely
to
give you a call.
And even partner to partner, I don't know if that was intention, but it's supposed to be a partner to realtor is a big deal, but it's even good for us to rub elbows with other partners because there's roofers that need us and we need roofers. There's, the foundation company that's one of y'all's big sponsors is one of the ones we use regularly. So it's nice just to see those people out and about too and just keep those relationships going.
We keep talking about how Real Producers is so much more than a magazine. We really like to think of ourselves as a networking community because that is.
Yeah, I would give it that. Yeah, I would definitely say that.
Well, that's a good point, and that's something that I learned really early in the business. That we're just not print advertising. That's not something the perception that I want everybody to see is that it's all about print advertising because print advertising is probably not the most modern day way to advertise out there. There's this thing called digital. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Just slightly.
But we also do digital.
We do that too.
We do digital marketing as well. We have a division of the company that does that. But our print advertising goes to a focused group, which is the top real estate agents. And that's who the distribution of our magazine goes out to
Shows up at their door
every month. And they read it because it's all about them, someone that they know of or want to know. And I hear from the realtors that, they know most everybody, or if they've been around a while, then they know faces and people from being across closing tables, but they don't really know where they came from and what they're all about and things that are important to them in their life. And that's what we do is we tell the stories and share the success of the top producing real estate agents and our industry partners, and in an attempt to build relationships. And print advertising absolutely is a part of that. That's how the bills get paid is through our ads and then through our support for our events as well. So
it's a community. I mean that's what I've picked up on so far. And like for us, when we got started. Like with any startup, you've got a limited budget, and it's still not huge. So we have to really think about where those dollars go. And so when I got with Josh that day, the main thing I was asking him, I said, man, I've got this amount that I really need, that I've got to get in front of agents because I think that what we've got, and I'm passionate about this at this point, I know it solves a problem. I know we're good at doing it. Yeah. I need to show people. And so that's what we've been able to do here.
Yeah, well, if your response to real estate agents when they call you with a request is, we're on it, you're going to get a lot of business.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then like, and I'm learning more and more about this and I learned some of it throughout our investing, but I didn't deal as much. I mean, we do deal with the agents, but with this it's a little more because we're working on the inspection. Well, their paperwork's a big deal when they close something. Absolutely. And I mean, there's a ton of boxes that have to be checked and I's and T's to be dotted and crossed. And so us being able to work off the inspection and then give a report after the fact that says, here's what we did with a write-up from me, that's going a long way. And that's not something I saw coming. I didn't see that being a big deal, but the fact that we can do it fast and not make them wait like that. I knew that getting the work done quick was a big deal, but then like, oh, you can also give me paperwork that goes with my packet. Like, yeah, it's another thing as a subscriber. You have every job we do for you, if you're a subscriber, it goes into a portal. And so let's say 3 years down the road, you're still a subscriber, you get ready to sell your house. You have to fill out that property disclosure statement, right, that every transaction has to have. Well, just like cars have a Carfax, you can go to your portal and print off every work order that's ever been done in your home and just put that in the bundle. And it shows who from our company did it, pricing, everything's on there. So like, this is what we did, the date we did it, how it was done, here's the end result. And so that's that technology piece that we've tried to put into play.
As a homeowner, how nice. And then especially if somebody was to take advantage of that subscription
Mm-hmm.
and be regularly keeping up with that maintenance. Just imagine how much smoother the buying and selling process would go.
Sure.
If you've already had that connection and y'all been on top of repairs and
Mm-hmm.
you have proof to show that you're doing these things. I mean,
Well, is
an
anybody
agent,
else doing
I bet that's
this?
great.
Anybody else do that? I haven't really.
Not around here. I mean, not the subscription. No, that's we're disrupting that for sure. And the original goal, I'm telling all my secrets, I don't mind, but the original plan. Now there's a company in Houston, Texas that's got a decent outfit that does this, but they cater more like a concierge service where they'll walk the dog, they'll come over when you're out of town, and they'll do certain, like, it's a little different. And then a company in the Northeast that does.
come in, you're going to start dog walking.
Well, I don't know. We do hang out with the dogs when we're there. Yeah, no dog. Yeah, we have some dog biting stories. I could go into those too. Our dog's fine.
Yeah.
They were till we got there, But the original goal, and we're still working towards this. But again, this is brand new. Like, we're having to get people to buy into a subscription as an option. And the ones that the right client, they love it. Like, it is made for this certain person. But we originally we're going to try to do a certain set of services every 30 days, every 60 days, whatever it was. So that may be like you bought a package for the year. Yep, you got, maybe we changed your, because some people can't change their filters anymore. They can't get on ladders. Maybe light bulbs or 12-foot ceilings are way up there. It's an inconvenience. So I surveyed that for like 6 months anonymously in the Jackson market to see if that would go over. And that didn't really survey that well. But what people requested was a block of time. And so, but I think what we're finding out, though, is that there are some repetitive tasks that you'll probably see us pushing pretty hard next year with our current subscribers to say, okay, here's what we did every quarter for you. You probably ought to just go ahead and lock these in. This is what we'll do when we get no matter what. Yep. And then, because there's some things we do we just do them while we're there that just need to be done, that just kind of get thrown in, and we track all of that so we can show them at the end of the year, here's the stuff that you didn't think about.
That sounds like it would be amazing also for like the older community, maybe some elderly that, like you said, can't do things like get on a ladder or change things. I mean, what a great gift to have somebody that's taking care of those things for them. I mean, I'm just thinking.
I resemble that remote.
Not talking about you. Although you did have a birthday yesterday.
Yeah, I had my 39th birthday yesterday.
There we go. Let's go.
You're not quite there yet, but in a few years we're going to get you the subscription.
No, I'm there. I'm there.
You don't want to get on the ladder, do you? It's not that you can't. You just don't want to.
Well, I guess while we're talking about that, I want to thank Gingerlyn for my birthday gift that she got me for. I just got
very nice, very thoughtful
today from her. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My birthday is October the 14th, just in case you're wondering.
I may have to get you to come do some tasks.
That's right. So yeah, the elderly community for sure. Busy professional, like I'd say over half of our subscribers are just busy professionals that 4 kids, both working parents, like they don't have time to do it. And then we've done a few that have been first time home buyers. So mom and dad reached out and said, hey, our kids are buying a house. They don't know which end of the screw to hit the hammer with. Like, they don't know. Yeah. So can we just buy them a year subscription? Yeah. Because it's pretty economical. If you break down.
I was just about to say, can you give us any idea?
Yeah. I left my phone over there, but on our website, if you go to steadyhomemaintenance.com, scroll to the bottom.
Steadyhomemaintenance.com.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got that.
Scroll to the bottom. There's a subscriptions button. Just hit that, and it'll take you to a PDF, and you'll see pricing. Bi-monthly and quarterly. We originally offered a monthly plan. There's not many folks that need you every month. Okay. And so we changed that to be bi-monthly and quarterly. Now, that said, we'll go custom for anybody. If somebody wants to just do twice a year, we'll do that. If you just want us for one day, we'll do that too. Yeah, and then with each level, there's freebies like free dryer vent cleanings, free HVAC tune-ups. There's just different things that we'll do included in that. But if you look at average home maintenance costs for a year on a home, your average 2,200 square foot house versus what this would be, we're pretty economical. Now, it's typically a labor only that includes small consumables, we say. And I'll give you an example today. I'm working in a house this morning before I got here, and they had 25 doors in the house, and all of them were squeaking. Like, there was an older home, they were tired of them squeaking. And so part of the reason they were squeaking is all the screws were stripped out going into the door facing. And so I pulled all the screws, fixed that, and no materials were billed because I used what they had except for the wood and filler that I used for the holes. So that's what we consider small consumables. Now, if we come out and you want us to hang a light fixture, we're not buying your light fixture. Like, you'll have to supply the light fixture, and we'll supply the labor. But anything that goes with wiring that up, we'll supply that.
Now, did you also put WD-40 on all the hinges too? So
I did.
Squeak.
Yeah. So I did do a dry lubricant. I did do that, but
you don't charge extra for that.
Yeah, you can tell the difference in a squeak and a grind, and it was a grind. Squeak was not the right term. It was yeah. I went in there armed with some WD, just in case. But
just in case it was an easy.
Yeah. Now they had a few that weren't latching, but that couple is an example of super busy professionals, 3 very active kids. He was like, I don't have time.
Yeah, I mean,
zero time.
That certainly makes a lot of sense. And like I said, I'm just not familiar with anybody else that's ever offered that kind of service.
Well, and because usually I think a lot of what it is this type of work, small stuff. It's a small ticket item, and so it's hard to visualize, I think, and see the scale of small ticket items. Like, how do you make that work? Because you think, well, to be everywhere all the time, you got to have people. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. It's just, we just committed to the vision and saw it and said, okay, this is it. That's what we're doing.
Typically, you're getting a sub who does the big picture to come do a little thing, and they're busy with the bigger picture.
Yeah, they don't want to.
And they don't want to come do a little thing, and then you got to get on their wait list, and they may be 2 or 3 months out, or say they're going to come, and then the job, they can't make it. So something like this where you're literally focused on the small things.
Sure.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's right. Because you think if you've got a $30,000 ticket and a $1,000 ticket sitting in the queue, where are you going? Yeah, and it's we have to be very dogmatic, very diligent, very disciplined to not outgrow that. Like, that's something that's constant. Every meeting we have as a company, it's reading the vision, reading the mission statement, and saying, hey, remember, this is what we do. And if my partner and I, if we don't remind each other often, it's easy to get busy and go, oh, well, that's only that's a little bit bigger than what we usually do. Because we can. I mean, we flip houses. We know we can do a bigger project. It's not that we can't. We just, we want to focus on that niche. And so anyway, we're committed to being disciplined to hold that line.
That's awesome.
Do you advertise your pricing, or you just call for pricing?
Call.
You mentioned that on the website that there is
the subscription link has pricing.
So when you click on the subscrition link, it then pulls up different package options.
Yeah, and those are priced. And it's out there for everybody. Sure is. Yeah, we don't have that. But like for just a one-off project, we just price that by the job. But we're so tech driven too. We probably only go and look at 10% of the work before we actually show up to do it, just because with iPhones and things these days, or Android for that weird crowd, you can send us photos and videos, and we have our form. Even on our ad, there's a QR code. If you scan that, it takes you to a form. If you just fill those things out, 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what I need to at least get you a ballpark price. Because the last thing you want is somebody to come out there and kick your tires and waste your time. I mean, not me. I mean, for the homeowner, if they were expecting one thing and we showed up and sent a bid for something way different, that's not good. So I'd rather go ahead and get that animal out of there first. Sure. So we try to do that before we show up.
Can you fix robot vacuum cleaners?
I can get it apart. I love taking stup apart.
I can get it apart.
Should we dissect this? Is this a new segment to the show?
Things that drive around your house on their own.
Let me tell you how I fixed mine. Threw them in the garbage.
Yeah, me too.
That guy hit Roomba, isn't that his name? Yeah. Roomba he could get stuck behind the couch, but he couldn't figure out how to get out. I don't know if it was a he or a she, but the Roomba wouldn't get back there. It wouldn't come out. And so I just got sick of him getting stuck, and I just put him to sleep for good.
Yeah, mine would wake up at random times in the middle of the night, and you'd wake up and you're like, what is that?
It was an insomniac. You got an insomniac, yeah.
I was like, the timer's clearly set for the day, and it's rolling around at night.
Yeah, I've had that happen a few times. I actually have 3 of them.
Okay.
In my house.
My mom does too, and she loves them. Hers work great. Like
mine.
No roofing, no landscaping, no dog walking,
no
Roomba repair.
Yeah, appliances is probably a good discussion.
Check out the maintenance contracts.
yeah, you should probably read all that. Here's the don'ts. And here's what's funny though, like this is a new thing for us too. Like this is new, right? It's new for everybody. And so we still, that's why our website says here's generally what we do, but if you don't see it, you need to ask us because we can. But even on the subscriptions, there's been 2 instances this week where something happened that we couldn't foresee. We thought we could see the future and predict it, we couldn't. And the guy wanted some extra time added to his visit, which is easy to do. And at first we had said, all right, if you get any time outside of your allotted time, you got to pay. It's a discounted price because as a subscriber you can pay. But I was like, what if you just pulled from the end of the year, your last visit, and then if you don't need us at the end of the year, then you've already paid for it. Or if you do need us, just pay at the end of the year, not now. And so those things that you can't see, but we can manipulate that. Yeah, sure. But appliances, you mentioned that. We're not really appliance repair people. That's a whole nother skill set. I will tackle my own, but I don't really want to tear into your Whirlpool or your Sub-Zero or whatever it is. But we will install them, and so that's pretty common. A lot of appliance sales places won't install, or if they do, it charges extra or something. And so, or if people move, a lot of times we'll show up and help hook up washer and dryer, refrigerator, those kind of just make sure they're running and doing that. So that's a big deal too. Yeah, move-ins. So not only do we do the inspection punch list, but move-ins are a big one. So like, especially when somebody's coming from out of town and movers are showing up, they kind of want to show up and maybe the pictures already be hung, or at least one of the spouses is down there to show us where the pictures go, and then maybe assemble some furniture.
Y'all do that kind of stuff. Y'all hang things.
Hang pictures, hang mirrors. We'll assemble furniture.
Wow, that's great.
Done that quite a bit around Christmas.
Furniture.
Yeah, Christmas we put together. We had trampolines and all that stuff. Yeah. Now, depending on where it was bought from,
design work.
That's right. Yeah, we'll do it.
Like, JR, I need you to come hang.
Now, we do require to see the instructions before we assemble something, because some of these things have a million pieces, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's usually way more expensive to get it put together than it is to buy it.
Look,
so,
do you do kids' toys?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll do the.
Oh my gosh!
Just call JR,
yeah. So we didn't really market that very heavy this year, just from a staffing perspective. We didn't want to take away from what we were doing, but I could see us probably opening up that division pretty heavy next year, where we'll do play sets, trampolines.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
all those things.
Yeah. You're just doing too many good things. I
Yeah.
mean.
Well, we'll see.
We put together a playground set for my grandsons in the backyard, and
It didn't take as
the end of me.
Yeah, it says 8 hours, but it was 8 days. Yeah.
Yeah, at least 8 days.
They never do. They never get it right. Yeah. And the problem is, all the pieces are. You may have 4 different styles of siding on this play set that look real similar. Dimensions are off by 1/4 inch, but that 1/4 inch matters, and so you get a whole wall built and go, oh no, wrong side. This doesn't fit over here. So you got to deconstruct everything and do it again.
And that could come into play as part of a move in or move out. If you've got a big playground set in the
100%.
back that needs to be repaired or taken down, moved or whatever, so that could be a part.
We've moved a few from one, so that's, and this is one of the requests we've had to work through, because we're not a moving company, and so typically, especially for our subscribers, there's usually just one person that shows up. That's why the math works on the subscription being as economical as it is for the year, because it's one person that's there. So if it requires 2 people, it just doesn't work that way. But while you're here, can y'all move this piano or move these things? I'm like, and we really had to debate that internally. And sure, we can cave on some things, but we're not a moving company. And there's folks that do really well at that. They have the equipment and the straps and all the stuff, and that's a hard thing to conceptualize sometimes. And I'll touch it here because of it. There's certain projects we don't do that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it may require a special piece of equipment or a lot longer ladder. And so because of our niche market, we don't carry a 30-foot ladder, and we don't, there's just certain things we don't have. And so we have to turn some of that stuff down, but that keeps us available for the stuff we want to do, the stuff that we can knock out of the park. We can do really well at.
Because, I do design work, and so my husband and I have put together a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get into it and oops, it needs a star bit instead of a Phillips head, and just your regular homeowner may not have that.
Right.
Just having somebody come in who has the tools, knows how to put things together, knows how to work it, even if it is smaller things.
Yep.
It saves you so much time.
It does.
Frustration.
And there's just and when you do it every day, and any contractor will tell you this, and there's just little tricks that you take for granted that you don't realize are ingrained in you, or, last time I put one of these hinges in, I really had to be off by 1/4 inch this way to make, there's just little things that are in your brain that you just can't put in instructions. So,
okay, well, tell us, is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap this up? Anything about you, who you are, about your company, or do you feel like you have just covered it all?
I feel like we've covered a lot of it. I will say this: we're growing. We don't serve every bit of the Greater Jackson area right now, and I think we do have that on our website. I should know that. Sorry, but I don't know if it's posted. But the reason being is we just don't have the people. We guarantee these turnaround times. To guarantee those turnaround times, I've got to have people in places to do such, and so we're trying right now to get people on the team, hire more folks so that we can expand and get into all those markets. You've got let's see, Flowood, city limits of Madison, and we'll go up to like Lake Caroline. So like I usually say North Lake Caroline, South like School Street in Ridgeland. So we don't even cover all of Ridgeland, and it's based on where people live that are on our team. We'll cover a piece of Clinton. Not all of Clinton because we don't have people there, but I've got properties in certain parts of Clinton, so it kind of makes sense to go there. Brandon city limits, Pearl city limits, and I guess that's it.
Jackson.
Parts of Northeast Jackson. We got some subscribers, and that's based around subscribers, and so we'll cover. If I had a map, you could say like if you took Old Canton Road and went east of that, it's kind of northeast corridor, a little bit of east over, kind of right in there. It's mostly all subscribers in there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell us nice and slow. Go ahead and give us the number to call.
Okay.
So people can write it down.
601-500-5040. That's Steady Home Maintenance. You can text or call that number.
All text or call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that.
Text or call.
Awesome.
And steadyhomemaintenance.com.
Steadyhomemaintenance.com. I got to sound that out usually.
I was about to say, I'm probably gonna use this.
Steadyhomemaintenance.com.
Right.
And we're very active on Facebook. Instagram, but Facebook's probably, if you want to see our work or what we do, there's something posted there every day.
Okay,
so it's a good place to go look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you all for doing this. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah.
And thank you for your support of
Sure.
Real Producers and what we're doing. And, we're looking forward to continue to work with you for a long time. And I think you've really got a niche that is going to play well in the real estate community.
Thank you.
Like I said, I've been around a long time, and I haven't really seen what you're doing out there. Yeah,
it's fun
to any extent.
It's fun. It's exciting. So
yeah, I can't wait to see how all of it turns out. So, all right. Well, I guess we're going to put a bow on this one, and it'll be a wrap for our third podcast. We're going to try to do these more often. We're again still learning ways to communicate and do these podcasts. So for now, thanks again to Kaylin Partee Photography for handling the video, and we will see you soon on the next one.
Very soon.
Yes.